Well, I think the same rules as ever apply. You need to be really persistent and not give up. There are more than a handful of banks. There are a lot of different lenders out there. You need to be creative in terms of, do you use, straight term loans, or is it an overdraft, a revolver, is it invoice discounting, is it leasing? There are different forms of debt. You obviously need to have your numbers well presented. I think you need to be straight with your bank and tell them the truth always, and never give up.
The key to getting funding is to stop looking for it. You have to re-ask the question. One has to ask the question differently right now. If you're starting a business today, you have to be very aware of the fact that you're bootstrapping, full stop. And therefore you have to go as far as you can on your own resources as is humanly possible. The notion of a lightweight, very lightweight, ultralight business is really what you've got to get your head around. You do only the things that need to be done. And therefore you have to start looking out into the world and looking for the company of peers who are like-minded. Funding isn't difficult now. Funding is near impossible. The real funding opportunity now at a startup level is for your friends, your family, and of course that famous category, fools. But in large part, that's where we're at. And therefore you really have to ask yourself, how far can I go today on my own resource? And therefore you have to look out into the world for how others are also doing that.
Go back to the kitchen table and explain to me, as your best mate across the table, why what you think you're going to do is important. What service is it going to provide? What life's condition is it going to ameliorate? What desirable item is it that actually makes it a compelling proposition? And once you've convinced me of that, the story of that, then do the business plan. And the reason why that's important is because if you see funders and the public sector as great monoliths that you have to somehow siege in order to get the money out of them, you've missed the point, because these monoliths are actually just a conglomeration of individuals who feel things, who have senses of humor, who have ambitions, desires, inspirations themselves. And when you go to see them, you've got to make them say, I wouldn't mind having that on my tombstone, that I supported that. I like that. Yeah. That's the story. The story is, can you see, you the funder, see why you should have done it? But I think it's really important for people who are starting out on a career to understand personal charm and persuasiveness, and an understanding of the story of why you're doing something is every bit as important as the business technicalities of the business plan and how you're going to do X, Y, and Z, the program, the project management, if you like. And a lot of people get that very wrong. They seem to become obsessed by the techniques. These are just techniques rather than the substance of what it is you're trying to do.
Talk to people. If, for example, you're in retailing, you talk to shop managers and find out what they think about things. But, whether it be business to business or a consumer organisation, you talk to customers, you do research, and you can do that on a shoestring if you have to. Obviously, you can use tools like the web. It's a fantastic instrument of education and research. And, you can do a lot at your desk these days that I think reveals huge amounts about consumer behaviour and rival products and, pricing and availability and, marketing tricks that people use that you can mimic, etc., etc.
A market segment is nothing more than the sum of an individual type of potential customer. So what makes a type a type? Well, they have certain attributes in common. And those are relevant attributes that uniquely make them that type of customer. So you want to understand that market, you need to understand the individual customer very, very well, who is representative of that segment. No more than one, you've doubled your knowledge base. I mean, it's getting a deep understanding of the customer's problem that you're seeking to solve. You've obviously got some service that provides or product that has a specific benefit. That benefit is only a benefit because it takes away a pain. You need to understand the pain and how it acts in their lives, because it only has a certain value to them, removing the pain. If you cost more than the value, you're not going to sell many of them. So understand a market segment, understand what makes the segment the segment. What is the unique attributes that make that group of customers themselves, and then go ask individual customers as much as possible, and you then understand the market segment because they are all alike in that sense.
Now you can collaborate with world-class experts and thousands of business people to solve your biggest problems in business. Simply log in to your business channel and put your question to our editorial team. You can also post your questions on YouTube, Facebook or Twitter. I'm sure you can see how it will work for you. It's all about solving your problems fast. There are also low risk and results-based options if you'd like more help. Sign up today.